Executive summary of that report, which you'll find on page 1.
Yes.
Now, this is a study that was done on the Republic Wind project area, correct?
Yes.
And the study was performed for purposes of evaluating migration of passerines, right?
Correct.
And the study period was from April 4 through May 30 in the spring, correct?
Yes.
And from August 18 through November 18, 2011 during the fall, right?
Correct.
Further down in that page, I'd like to direct you to the last paragraph of that page. The second sentence, which reads as follows: due to the limited size of woodlots, wetlands, open water, and potential stopover sites, and due to an availability of similar habitat in northwestern Ohio, the project area does not represent a unique resource for large numbers of passerines during migration. You see that sentence?
Yes,
Do you agree with that sentence?
I do.
Okay. Let me ask you a few questions about the meaning of that sentence. First of all, that sentence says that there are limited potential stopover sites in the project area, right?
Yes.
In other words,
Actually, it says due to the limited size of woodlots and due to an availability of similar habitat in northwestern Ohio.
oh, okay. I see how you're reading that. So it's saying that the potential stopover sites are limited in size? Is that what it is? Is that how you're reading that sentence?
Yes.
Okay. And because the potential stopover sites and open water, wetlands, and woodlots are limited in size, that means that only a limited number of migrant passerines are going to stop in the project area during migration, correct?
That is correct.
And where the sentence refers to an availability of similar habitat in northwestern Ohio, it is referring to maybe marsh and other natural areas near Lake Erie.
That's about a very, very small percentage of that northwestern Ohio area. And in fact, I would say it's probably less than 1% of the McGee Marsh. This, to me, is referring to other agricultural habitats in northwest Ohio with these very small patches of forest. Also, there's no lake.
Oh, okay, I see how you're reading that. You're reading it to say that other habitat in northwest Ohio is similar to that in the project area. Is that correct?
That's what the sentence says.
Okay. And that's another reason why a limited number of passerines use the project area as a stopover site.
That and the fact that cultivated fields, tilled fields, occupy a vast majority of that project site suggests that there won't be large numbers of passerines Passerines don't use cornfields or soybean fields. There's nothing there for them really.
Would you go to page 2 of this document? I'd like to refer you to the third paragraph of the report. The first sentence states, passerines appeared to be especially vulnerable to collision with wind turbines, and in one synthesis were found to represent 74% of all fatalities recorded in existing data sets, Strickland 2008. Do you agree with that sentence?
There's two ways to look at this sentence. The first is when you say especially vulnerable, that could mean that the largest numbers of birds killed by wind turbines are these passerines, but it doesn't tell me anything about the absolute numbers. And also you have to realize that those birds are more numerous than the other birds. So it's, you know, especially vulnerable. I agree with this, the sentence kind of in general, but it's not very specific, telling me what I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are many species of passerines that fly through northern Ohio, correct?
Yes,
And many of those species have more limited populations than some of the more common species like the red-winged blackbird, correct?
yes.
Moving down page 2, for section 2.1,
Yes,
it states there that point counts were conducted at 11 points in the project area.
yes.
Would you go to figure 1 of this report? That's a map showing the Republic Wind project area.
Where is figure 1?
It would be after page, the figure starts after page 9. Then there's a title page that simply states figure,
Thank you.
and then the next page would be figure 1. So this figure 1 shows the project area for the Republic Wind project as it was configured in 2011 when this report was written, correct?
I believe so.
Are you familiar with the location of the project area under its current configuration?
Yes,
Okay. The project area shown in figure 1 of this report is different than the current project area footprint, correct?
It appears to be.
Do you know how many of the point count locations in this report are located outside of the current footprint?
No.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next document. Do you wish to take a lunch break at this time, or
Let's go off the
continue to go?
let's go off the record.